Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason. This fuzzy one that just jumped up right here, hi fuzzy, is Freya, and we're bringing you today's episode. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons, guys. We're a small family channel just trying to bring you guys fun stuff to read, so we'd appreciate that support. It would really mean a lot to us. And today I want to talk about a book or a series that I've talked about before and an author I've talked about before. As always, we're going to cover four things. We're going to cover the world, the characters, the plot, and the writing style. So today I want to talk about Dungeon Walkers 2 by Daniel Schinhofen. So I've already gone over the world in the first review of Dungeon Walkers 1, so just a very, very, very brief overview of the world. It's your typical lit RPG world, sword, sorcery, all that usual stuff. Only this one is focused around dungeons, and they come in sets of 3. So the characters have to go through their academy, their schooling, learn about dungeons, learn about the creatures before they get their certifications, and then can go attempt the dungeons. Now, each person can only do a dungeon 3 times. Everything is in threes in this series. So each person can only do a dungeon, any one dungeon 3 times. First time they do it and pass it, they will gain a perk, a magical ability of some sort. After that, they just gain money that they can use in the shop that's at the end of each dungeon. Now, once you finish a threesome, a trilogy of dungeons, a specific trilogy, your rank goes up. And when your rank goes up, you're now allowed to take higher level quests and attempt higher level dungeons. You've also got what they call the Blighted, that are apparently some form of zombie type thing, gaunt, skeletal, grayish, that are up north. And these dungeons, they travel up north. The weakest ones are down south, and then as you move up, you go up further and further in the ranks, from lead to tin to brass to copper to various metals to shiny metals, all kinds of stuff. Now, the thing about the dungeons is, if you die within a dungeon, you are not dead. You are fractured into 4 pieces. And other people, if they run that dungeon, can choose to use what they earn to buy these pieces. If all 4 come out and are taken to the temple, then the person can be resurrected, regardless of how long they've been within the dungeon. And that is kind of the core idea behind this series. Is it's based off these teams called Rescue Squad. They're the most famous teams in this world. They run the dungeon specifically to bring people back out that have already died in it, and that is the main character's goal, is to join one of the rescue squads, or to create his own rescue squad, his own rescue team. And that the main character, Stern, is what they call an irregular. He looks like a blighted. He is born with perks, which usually people are not born with them. Now his was to summon a cat, basically a house cat. Although with other perks he has gained since, he was able to basically turn it into a very powerful displacer beast for all intents and purposes. And as was revealed in the first book, he is the son of 3 members of the Rescue Squad, Rescue Squad 1, the most powerful of the rescue squads. And that is his goal. In fact, he only runs dungeons once. That way he can save his other 2 runs to be able to go back through, if necessary, to get people's shards to bring them back to life. Now, in the first book, he had gained 2 companions, 2 members of his team. One was kind of a quasi-healer. One is what they call a bulwark, your tank. Now, as he's continuing on, he is trying to gain more members to his team, while also managing to progress through to further dungeons and get further along the pathway, while he's also trying to solve various mysteries that he's got to solve. One of the kind of enduring mysteries of the series is this very, very obvious that his family, his parents, or at least his dad, comes from Earth, from our Earth. So that's hopefully something that will be resolved in book 3. We will find out, and as soon as I finish book 3, I will tell you guys all about it. So he does meet this brother-sister pair that are also trying to not necessarily join the rescue squad, but they do have a specific person they're trying to rescue, naturally, a family member, and they are unable to find a team because one of them is rather abrasive. So they of course join up with Stern's team. So now they have a 5-person team, and they basically, you've got the brother that is pretty much just your damage per second guy. He's your DPS guy, who uses a couple of axes and just kind of goes to town. And the sister, it's kind of hard to pigeonhole exactly what her role is within a typical like gaming type of group. But she tends to be the more stable of the two. And that's pretty much the entire plot of Dungeon Walker 2, is Stern trying to gel with his new team, trying to bring these two in and just progress through to further dungeons. It's almost like a slice of life thing. Now, here's a couple of things that I like about this book and a couple of things that I don't. One of the things that I really, really like about it is, as you guys know from some of our other reviews, the slice of life books are kind of growing on me. I'm really starting to enjoy those. Obviously, this has multiple relationships in it. That's kind of one of Daniel Schinhofen's signatures. But what I like is that the adult sections actually just fade to black. They just fade to black, so we don't waste 10, 15 pages on insert tab A into slot B, so that you can get back to the plot. I also like how he tends to skip a lot of the grind stuff. If they have a two-week travel and they are, they're fulfilling a couple of quests, one of which is to collect all these things, all these plants or all these monster skins. He doesn't go over each individual battle, each individual thing going on through this. He'll go over one or two maybe brief little battles, and then he just skips over to where they finally arrive into town, instead of rehashing the same thing over and over and over again. The characters are grinding. That's what they're doing. They're grinding. Not grinding XP, they're grinding money. So, I don't necessarily need to read the grind. I don't need to grind through my book. One of the things that I'm not a huge fan of is they make a big deal in the first book and in parts of the second book about how irregulars are so instantly hated and so distrusted. And he basically makes it almost almost a racism thing, although not quite, because the blighted are monsters. You look like them. I mean, if people walk around looking like werewolves, then people are going to be scared. So he makes this big deal out of it in the first book and in parts of the second book, and yet, despite that, everything comes really easy for Stern. Now, he does have one advantage, which is money. He has money, and then his personality, he is basically an abrasive paladin in a way. He's very, very abrasive, but at the same time, he is such a goody two-shoes that you can't help but win over people. And Daniel Schinhofen is very, very good at writing those interpersonal relationships and the conversations that go between people, and how you might talk people into coming over to your side. But I mean, honestly, the whole look down upon, you look like a blighted, you're an irregular, we hate irregulars, we hate irregulars, we hate irregulars, really doesn't come into play. It's mentioned a lot, and it seems like it might go there, but it takes maybe 2 pages before the whole town loves Stern. And then he goes to the next town, and everybody hates him, and it really gets to him because of one of his perks, and within a couple pages, everybody loves him. It comes a little bit too easy. Considering that he's trying to hold back most of his advantages, because Stern has a huge number of advantages if he were to use them. If people knew who he really was, Child of Rescue 1, plus all the money that he has access to, he could pretty much own every single town he's in. As far as the writing style goes, it's fun. It's fun. Again, it's kind of more slice of life, and it's almost like reading a video game. So if you like video games, you like litRPG books, it's a lot of fun. Daniel Schinhofen's books are just a blast. They're a ton of fun. I can't say that this is my personal favorite of his series. I like Luck's Voice, but this is definitely a very, very good series, and I'll be reading book 3 very soon, and I will be sure to let you guys know all about it. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.